Believe it or not, this is how racers used to carry their flat tire supplies while riding for weeks on end. Now, RC says the 1920s were the good old days. I think we got it way better now. I'm Mike Levy. Today, we're gonna look at 7 different ways to carry gear on your bike instead of your body. All right, I know what you're thinking, your backpack works just fine, but did you know that you don't need to get back to class before the lunch bell rings? Bags make a lot of sense if you need to carry a ton of stuff, but most of us don't. And you can make it even more comfortable by moving that necessary stuff from your body to your bike. All right, number 1 is the simplest, and it's probably the one that makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. Frame straps. The good, they're cheap. 15 to 25 bucks, and they fit on pretty much any bike out there. Use them to carry tubes, pumps, tire levers. Some of them have little pockets on them to carry your tiny things. The bad, they're definitely not idiot proof. I've lost some tubes and some pumps and levers over the years, but for the most part, they're the easiest way to carry anything on your bike. Some alternatives, ski straps, very cheap, and if you want to go the homeless but practical look, always Gorilla Tape. If frame straps are the simplest way to do it, 1UP's EDC tool might be the most complicated. It also might be the most clever. Now, this little tube of tools can be stored down in your steerer tube if you thread the inside of your steerer tube or using 1UP stem, or you could store it in the handle of their largest mini pump. All right, the EDC tool goes for $59 American. The good, this thing is so damn clever. All those little tools, all hidden down in your steer tube or your pump handle, right there when you need it. The bad, I do find it kind of finicky. You got to pull it out, take it all apart to get some little Allen key, but everything does work pretty well. All right, speaking of hiding tools in places, if you want a multi-tool in your crank spindle, done. You want a multi-tool in your handlebar, no problem. You want a tire plug on the other side, you can do that too. Straight out of Italy, All-In's tool hides 4 hex keys, a Phillips bit, a Torx driver, and a crank tool inside your crank spindle. Now, it's all held in by magnets, so you need to make sure that you have a steel crank spindle for it to work, but it's pretty clever. This little guy goes for 67 euro, straight off of All-In's website. All right, let's go up to your handlebar now, and we're gonna look at Granite's $25 stash chain tool. It goes right into the end of your handlebar. Now, I like this one because it's only a chain tool. They haven't tried to stuff 30 or 50 other little tiny tools on there to make it real finicky. Now, the same thing applies to their $20 stash tire plug tool that you could put in the opposite side. It's just a tire plug, the other one is just chain tool, and they look real nice. All right, speaking of putting things in your handlebar, Wolftooth just released their in-case multi-tool. Now, this thing is pretty neat. It's a 14-function multi-wrench with a CNC'd aluminum handle that doubles as a driver. Now, on the other side of the handlebar, it includes a chain tool and a tire plug kit. The in-case is not cheap though, $119.95 American if you're wanting to hide all your stuff in the handlebar. All right, number 5 on the list is Industry 9 with their matchstick through axle. That's right, this thing is a through axle. Inside of it, you'll find a rubber tube with a split, and inside that, you'll find your 2mm, 2.5mm, 4mm, 5mm, and 6mm hex keys, as well as a T25 Torx. There's also a place to store a chain link, and the handle doubles as a chain tool. It's 145 bucks, but at least you can get the handle in a ton of different anodized colors. We can't talk about carrying anything on the bike without mentioning Specialized SWAT system. Now, there's been a ton of clever ways to carry stuff on your bike since mountain biking started, but Specialized SWAT system kind of kicked it off for the more recent examples. Now, it started with a clever tool that attached to the bottom of the bottle cage and a giant hole in the down tube. You could open it up, put your burritos and your donuts and your candy in there. Now, that hole has worked so well that it's actually showed up on Trex bikes as well too. They also do a clever tool that goes down into your steer tube. It's spring-loaded. All you do is you push your top cap aside, push it down, and it pops right up like a mechanical gopher there to help you when you need it. All right, number 7, we're on to the last one, and it's my personal favorite. It's the seat bag. They've been around forever. I know they're not cool, but they just make sense. The good, you can get them in all different sizes and shapes to carry as much as you want. The bad, if you're on a 29er or a long travel bike, or you have a long travel dropper post, they might not clear your tire. They might rub on the tire when the suspension is bottomed out. So you have to check that. All right, so there are 7 different ways to carry tools on your mountain bike, but there's definitely other ways to do this, from frame bags to using a shit ton of tape like I obviously prefer to use. Let us know in the comments, what is your secret hack to carrying tools and how are you doing it? I'm just gonna put my Torx wrench back in there in its slot. Time to hit the trails.